Any mistakes?
Ooh.
There are so many.
You definitely make mistakes. You just learn a huge amount through the process.
It was a good learning curve for us.
So I've really embraced mistakes.
I made it into a bigger thing than what it was. It's not scary, honestly.
Don't underestimate how long the assessment will take.
What we thought was going to be a sort of 4 to 6 month process was probably closer to 12 to 18 months.
To start now.
Putting things in place right from the beginning.
We had to create a lot of things from scratch for the first time.
It's probably a mistake that we all made, is thinking that was going to be easier than what it was.
It's hard, but that's okay, that's good.
Ask lots of questions. Don't feel like you need to know everything.
Once I broke it down, I was like, yes, I can do it.
If I were to go back, probably be even more courageous.
Biggest recommendation is do it all in one sitting, go through all the questions and make all the notes because of what you need to do, what needs to happen, what action, and then there comes an action plan.
And once you get to the end of the assessment, you understand the whole system.
The BIA is an amazing tool.
Just create an account and take a look at the assessment because it's free. That's what's so cool. It's such a powerful tool and it's free to everyone.
You know, it seems like a big mountain to climb when you look at that BIA assessment for the first couple times, but it's doable. We did it. A lot of other companies have done it.
When you do your assessment, be very clear and honest about what you actually do and what you don't do.
And it's beautiful because it really does. It's like, here's some things you can do to improve your business. And it's like, how incredible to have that roadmap of success.
It gives so many good ideas for things that you might want to implement, include on your roadmap, include in your strategic planning.
If you're not leveraging that framework to increase your impact long term, I'm not exactly sure why you're doing it.
And the advice that I have is before you start to grow, really think about the activities that you do that are fundamental to your values and how to create the paperwork and the policies that will undergird those activities.
One of the key things that you need in B Corp is reliant on data.
We didn't do a great job of documenting where the evidence is.
My biggest tip is writing everything down.
Going through that, that's what we were exposed by. It was like, oh, we do all these things, but they're not documented.
So when it came time to certify as a B Corp, we really couldn't get credit for a lot of things that we had done in our first 6 years as a business, because there was nothing on paper to prove it.
Make sure that all your documentation is really tight, that you've got links to everything. Make it as easy as possible to track and update as you go.
We had a spreadsheet which was had our supplier data and our employee data on, which was pretty chunky. And I feel that I kept that to myself a little bit too much.
I would say don't try to do it alone.
So ask for help, talk to people who've done it, look for all the documents because you've got all the guidelines are out there.
Making sure to engage, the wider team as well.
The more we can bring our internal stakeholders in, the better.
If they come with you at every single step of the journey, then it makes it so much easier. They can join in the gathering of the information for you for your BIA assessment. They can do all of this with you, and it becomes so much easier. And it becomes a really amazing project that you can all sort of work towards achieving.
It can be quite daunting when you start. It's a long journey that you've got to go on, and there's lots to do. But I think what I found was as soon as I asked somebody for help and realized how open and welcoming this community is, then I definitely think I should have done that sooner because it would have put me on the right path a lot quicker.
Speaking to other B Corps about their journey and how they approached various different challenges, I think that's definitely one area that we would have done more with in our first application as well.
There were times in the first certification process that there were acronyms that I was like, I am not a business person. What on earth is this? And there were some questions we answered incorrectly because we just didn't know what they were asking.
Getting somebody to help you as well. You still have to do the work and you still have to show that you're living up to those B Corp standards.
There's some amazing B leaders out there who can really save you time and heartache. Engaging a B leader earlier would have enabled us to have more confidence in what we were doing, and also the B leader actually helped us answer the questions in a way that unlocked more points as part of the impact assessment, which ultimately got us a higher score.
The community is there. even though you may be a new member to it or an aspiring new member, I think the people, the brands that are already there are willing to help.
Talk to other people. One of the benefits of being a B Corp is transparency. Everybody wants to help each other. The more we can encourage other businesses to go through this, the better. It's adding to that voice and movement. So we will help. We will share anything.
Everyone that I have ever worked with in B Labs and the B Corp community has been so gracious and so generous with their time to answer sometimes, I think, very obvious questions, and sometimes questions that are really needed.
You are constantly on this journey, and even though that we are certified, we know that we need to constantly improve, constantly change the ways in which we're doing things, and acknowledge that it's not easy.
Nobody's perfect, no organisation's perfect, and although we got a good score, it could certainly be a better score.
And actually what we found is that while there were areas that we scored really highly in, as a business that's been going for 7-8 years, actually there are a lot of areas that we just hadn't really thought of or considered yet.
There's so much we've got planned to improve on.
You know, you've got to be doing kind of continuous improvement, making sure that you're preparing for your annual impact report. That year will fly by.
Yes, B Corp certification for sure is part of the process, but you're never over the line because the line's moving all the time.
And yeah, I think it's just onwards and upwards from now.